the China School that is organized by the Research Center on Contemporary China, that is a think tank based in Italy, with the Graduate School of Management of the Polytechnic University of Milan. And it will take place from the 14th to the 28th of July, 2025, with 15 hours of lectures in Milan. And then it will continue in Beijing and Shanghai, where there will be both lectures, cultural tours, company visits, and then Michelangelo Cocco that will talk after. And he's one of the main organizers of the school, will give you more details about the program. Today, my main aim would be just to give you a brief introduction. I will send in the chat the website and the email that you can write to if you want any more information, if you want to sign up. Keep in mind, please, that the deadline for the application is the 30th of April. We'll probably let the application run a little bit over the 30th, considering that today is already the 19th of April, especially for those that apply through European Guanxi and that join this session. So please feel free to reach out, to write to us on by email if you want to express your interest in joining. And I guess that is pretty much it from my side. And I'm very glad and honored to present you today one of our key speakers, Mr. Lorenzo Riccardi, that is the chairman of the China-Italy Chamber of Commerce. He holds a lot different institutional roles, and he's the managing partner of RSA Asia, that probably some of you might already know. So I will not keep you further on this, and I will let Mr. Riccardi take on from here.
Thank you. So it is a pleasure to join today's event to share some information about China, about the Italian Chamber of Commerce, and also about China School. In fact, China-Italy Chamber of Commerce is supporting and cooperating with the Research Center for Contemporary China for the China School that will be held in Milan, in Beijing, and in Shanghai during this coming summer. And our chamber will invite European Italian companies present in the two main cities to share information to participants of the school, and will also help to organize company visits, both Chinese and Italian European companies. Mainly focusing on technology, on innovation between Europe and China, between Italy and this giant market. The Italian Chamber of Commerce, I like always to mention that has been founded in its first registration in 1903. This is a symbol of how long are the economic relations between Europe and China, between Italy and China. That means that already 120 years ago, there were business people from Italy doing several activities in China, mainly for textile business. Today, the Italian Chamber is a different organization with more than 800 members that is representing the Italian investments in the country. We know that the bilateral trade between Italy and China has a value of $72 billion. This according to the data of Chinese customs related to 2024. And the Italian companies in the market, they have investments equivalent to 15 billion euro in terms of capital. Italy is one of the European countries doing business with China, and Europe is actually the second trading partner of China. China as ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asia, as the first trading partner. Europe or the European Union as the second trading partner, and the US as a third trading partner. This shows us how China is promoting actually more and more relations in the region, in the Asia-Pacific region. And we saw with the recent business and political missions of the Chinese president in Vietnam, in Malaysia, and in Cambodia. And we saw Vietnam as a first destination, being in fact the larger trading partner within the 10 members of the ASEAN Association. The Italian investments in the country are mainly in East China. That means Shanghai Municipality, Jiangsu Province, where I am today, Zhejiang Province, and followed by southern China with Guangdong, with 120 million people being the largest province by demography, by GDP, and also by trading volume with Italy. Even if Shanghai, that is a municipality, is the key administration, both for trade and investments from Italy and between the two countries. In terms of economic fields or economic sectors, Italy is exporting and investing in China, specifically in some key sectors. Equipments and machineries, lifestyle, that means luxury, garments, fashion, design, pharmaceutical, energy and chemical, and agri-food is not within the top 3 segments, but is one of the most relevant by growth, by export growth. During 2024, we saw a decrease in terms of export from Italy to China, but we saw a more significant decrease in terms of export from Germany to China and from France to China, and even the average of the European Union export to China. This means that this fluctuation or this kind of performance is linked probably to 2024 economic slowdown of the market, a number of challenges related to inflation, related to the real estate crisis, related to the complexity of consumption in the Chinese market, and actually related also to the slowdown of foreign direct investment. Despite these challenges that European and Italian companies face on a daily basis, I always mention that the dimension and the geography of the country are in line with the opportunities. So the reason why most of the Italian companies are investing in this giant market is related to the dimension of the market, to the fact that it is still the first for automotive, for luxury, for fashion, for a number of different economic sectors. It is very interesting to understand the next trends in terms of economic relations between Brussels and Beijing. It is interesting to see the next political missions between China and Europe to evaluate how this relation will change. Of course, in light of recent tariffs, trade war between the American administration and different regions, and specifically with China. Europe is the largest market and a very significant economic region in the world. Therefore, there will be a global impact and a regional impact in terms of any kind of economic relations between Washington and Beijing. We estimate there will be chance of more economic cooperation with both Italy and Europe. And I have to mention the number of political missions that Italy promoted during the recent months. That is a very special moment in bilateral relations with the Italian Minister of Enterprises and Made in Italy, Urso, visiting Beijing in July 2024, the Italian Premier Meloni, the Italian President, the head of state, Mattarella, together with the Foreign Minister Tajani, and also with the President of the Italian Senate, just in November, following the November state visit of Mattarella. The President of the Italian Senate recently traveled to both Beijing and Shanghai. This is just to say that the top three political leaders of Italy, so the head of state, the head of government, and the head of Senate, they all visited China during the recent months. That is an extraordinary number of political visits in a very short term that show how Italy is interested in promoting economic relations in both trade and investments. Of course, focusing on rebalancing the trading gap and also the investments gap. I have to say that if Italy is investing 15 billion euro in terms of stock equity, China is investing to Italy 2.8 billion euro in terms of aggregated equity. And in a similar way, there is a gap in terms of trade between export and import. China is exporting 46 billion US dollar to Italy, and Italy is exporting in countries. In terms of recent trend, we saw, of course, a very positive trend granted by the visa-free policy that China confirmed for European citizens. We met a number of new missions from a business perspective, political perspective, and this will bring new project, new cooperation. I also consider there will be an increasing number of visits from China to Europe, from China to Italy. We know that has been confirmed the visit, the mission of the Chinese Premier Li Qiang to Italy during the current year 2025. And there will be many other missions. We saw the chairman, the president of CCPAT, that is the national agency to attract and to promote trade and investments, also visiting Italy together with other European countries and bringing a large delegation of almost 50 officers and representatives of different business segments. So in terms of relations, I believe it is a very positive phase according to the number and the standard, the ranking of these visits. In terms of economic opportunities, definitely the recent trade war with US will impact global trade, and the global economy, and there will be a potential significant impact for Italy, China, for Europe, China. That can be even a positive outlook, but it will be necessary to understand which will be the next steps in bilateral and multilateral economic relations. So I take chance during this short intervention to invite all to travel to China to see the opportunities in the market in different cities, provinces, regions of this giant geography. And I believe the China School is also an excellent opportunity to understand better future trends of this market and learn more about giant tech companies, both from Europe and from China. And thank you again for organizing today's informative session. And we'll be glad to meet all participants to the China School coming to Beijing and Shanghai this summer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Riccardi, also for all these figures and details that you shared with us. And in everything that we are experiencing now, geopolitically speaking, some positive notes, noting how many also visits and political visit and interest, both from Europe and Italy and from China to Europe and Italy. It's very interesting, and we hope that this will be one key element for also our school this summer, because of course our aim is to give a little bit of bridge and give the opportunity to visit China and experience different things, not only the cultural side, but also the technological side, economical side. And that is why I'm introducing now Michelangelo Cocco, the Executive Director of the Research Center on Contemporary China. He's also a journalist working for the Italian daily Domani, and he has been living in Shanghai for the last 3 years. And he is the director of the China School, and he will be the main organizer and the main contact that will lead you if you join this summer with us through the tour in China.
Thank you very much, Alessia. Thank you very much, Dr. Riccardi and China-Italy Chamber of Commerce for your availability. The China-Italy Chamber of Commerce will help us with company visits, which will be one of the most important things we are going to do among the program of the China School, which is in its 6th edition, and it is organized together with the Graduate School of Management of Polytechnic University of Milan. I would like to spend a few minutes by trying to explain to you the importance of the subject we chose for this 6th edition of the China School, China's high-tech rise, strategies, players, and perspectives. Why is China's high-tech rise so important? Basically, because the high-tech today it's the center of two extremely important things. The way how we produce things, so production, industrial production, manufacturing, and the way we make wars. So the high-tech rise is at the center of this big shift in industrial production with the smart manufacturing and in defense industry and in general the way people, armies make wars. So the subject is an extremely important one, extremely actual one, and we are going to study, let's say, this subject in a different way. The program is The first part of the program is in Milan is, of course, very different from the second part of the program in China. In Milan, we are going to have 15 hours of intensive lectures, on 3 days, from the 14th to the 16th of July. The important thing to say is that these lectures will not be held by the typical academics, let's say, but our lecturers, our speakers are mainly people, experts from the academia also, but from research centers. So these lectures have, this means that these lectures have linkages, connections with corporate and institutional people, both in Europe and in China. And why I say to you this, because this could help you in your career, university career, or your career in general. The second part of the school will be held here in China, in Beijing and in Shanghai. We will also have one day in Hefei, which is the provincial capital of Anhui, small, very interesting province, which has become a manufacturer base for electric vehicles. And there we are going to visit NIO company in an extraordinary production site where there are virtually no human being, virtually no workers, but everything is done by machine, robots, software, internet. This is the NIO factory we are going to visit in Hefei. But basically, what we are going to do in Beijing, Hefei, and Shanghai mainly is to have company visits of both foreign and Italian multinational corporations. The last day in Shanghai, we are going to spend it meeting CEO of some European and Italian companies who will examine, let's say, your CV and who are open for stage, internship, and work offer. So most important thing in China program will be company visit. We are going to have 6, 7 or more company visits, but of course we are also, as Alessia was saying, having some cultural trips, because for us, we thought that it would have been absurd to go to Beijing, Shanghai without visiting the most important tourist attraction, at least. And then we are also having some talks, mainly from Chinese perspective, from Chinese people, because we also believe that it is very important to understand their point of view on this subject, on China's high-tech rise, and not only the European point of view. That's all for now. I'm open to your question. So if you have any question about the program or about the logistic here, the organization, and everything, please, I'm open to answer. I'm more than happy to answer your question.
Thank you, Michelangelo. I wanted just to remind, since some of you might have joined a little bit later, that deadline for the applications is on the 13th of April, so the end of this month. Of course, it's already the 19th today, so we will give additional time, especially to those joining through European 1C or that joined today. And I left in the chat our contacts, the emails, and the website where you can check all the details of the program, the school, application form. So if you have any type of question, feel free to reach out to us by email, or now if you have some doubts, questions, some interesting things that you would like to know about China or about the program this summer, let us know.
Yeah, Alessia, maybe I can just add one thing, which I believe is quite important. I mean, the way we organize the program is intended to give the participants both a very good theoretical background about China's high-tech rise, and also at the same time to experience firsthand this high-tech rise here in China. So this is the way we organize the program, and I think this could be a great experience for students. I mean, it would be a very deep understanding, and it will enrich their knowledge and their understanding on this subject, on China's high-tech rise, in a way I believe it's quite extraordinary. So we are waiting for your question. If any doubt, any
Yes, we have Anna.
more information.
Yes, no, thank you so much for all the information for so far. I just had a very short question, actually two ones. First one will be whether the whole program, everything is in English, as far as I understand. Yes, because there's a part also in Milan, and I mean also it's focused on Italian companies and so on. And then also I thought about accommodation. So if all of this will be provided for you in the same places, or since maybe some people might be from Milan already, or have friends there. So I was just curious to understand more these details. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you for your question, Hannah. Yeah, sure. All the program will be in English completely, and yeah, Italian corporations anyway will be Italian multinational corporations. So we are speaking about very big corporations like Pirelli or this kind of corporations who have, let's say, interests and headquarters, offices all over the world. So, I mean, for candidates, for participants who will share their CV with these corporations, it means that they would have several possibilities, not only in China, but maybe also somewhere else. So we're not speaking about Italian small and medium enterprises or small companies. We're speaking about very big corporations. About the accommodation, yeah, the accommodation in Milan is not included in the fee, in the school fee, while everything else is included. I mean, the accommodation in China is included. The flights are included, and also the meal are included, except for a couple of days when we will leave the participants one afternoon and evening in Beijing and one afternoon and evening in Shanghai, completely free to do whatever they want, because maybe they want to buy something or they want to simply see something that it was not included in the program. So basically everything is included. We will move with a small bus with air conditioning, of course, because it will be quite hot here in the summer. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, no,
And I also
thank you
wanted
so
to,
much.
sorry, Anna. I also wanted to add also that, of course, the first days would be Milan, and we are also helping some participants to obtain their visa to come to Milan. So in case applicants are not from either live in Europe but are not from an European country, or they need a visa to come to Milan, we can always, to the extent of our ability, try to help them to get the visa with the invitation letter. So in that case also we will try to include a very multinational, multicultural group, because our aim is to to promote not only the China Rise, but also bilateral collaboration between countries, between culture, between people. So that's why. Maybe Michelangelo can't read because he's using his phone. One of the participants is he's I don't know, sorry to for the pronouns, but they're asking, would it be possible to join the program a few days later in case it doesn't fit into my schedule? My exams dates aren't out yet.
Yeah, for sure. And we are quite flexible about it. I will give you an example. We have a group of 3 students from Pakistan who would like to come to Milan, but they are afraid they will have problems with their visa. And we told them, no problem. You will have access to the online online lectures in the Milan days, and we will meet directly in Beijing, and we will start with you the program from Beijing. So no problem about it. If anybody has 1 day, 2 day, he cannot come to Milan, he will give. We will give you access to the lectures online or in live stream, or we can record it. This is not a problem at all. I mean, it's a pity for you that and for us that we cannot stay together from the beginning, but we are flexible, no problem about it.
We have another question. I live in China, so would it be possible to participate only in the part of the program in Beijing and Shanghai?
Sure, it is possible, and of course the price, we will adjust the price according to this, because of course the flight will not be included. I don't know if you have to if you need the accommodation. I think yes, because we are moving every day. So, but we are flexible. We can adjust also this. It's a pleasure for us also to meet students who are already in China, who already have some expertise about China, who already knows some things about China. I mean, all the application we already received are anyway from very qualified students. So I'm confident that this year also, as every year, I have to say, the program will be very competitive and very successful, and we are happy to meet the student who was asking us if he can join from China. Yes, welcome, please. The only thing I would ask to these people who have, let's say, particular requirements, please let us know as soon as possible, because this requires some bit more of organization. Sorry. So if you can tell us as soon as possible, it would be better. I mean, at least before the deadline of the 30th of April, because yes, it would be a bit more challenging for us, the logistic and everything. Nothing so serious, I mean, but if you tell us in advance, it would be very appreciated. Thank you.
Well, and I don't know if you want to wait a couple of minutes for some other questions, or do you want to start the wrap up of this session? As always, we will.
Yeah, I would say let's do a final call. In case there are no more questions, no urgent pressing issues. If you have any, please raise your hands now or just also write them in the chat box as the other people did. Feel free to go ahead. And if there are none, I mean, Alessia also kindly sent the email and contact points of all our partners from the China school here in the chat box. So you can always contact them there. In case you have any questions later on, you can always reach out. And of course, you can also, I mean, contact through us, through European Guanxi. You can let us know and we can establish contact with the China school later on. So I would just say let's wait shortly, some more minutes in case something comes up. But I mean, of course, if not, this is not the last and the only opportunity where people can ask questions.
Yeah. Of course, there's the email, there's our social media pages, so feel free to reach out, even if you just have a doubt and you don't know if you will be able to join, but you want to have more information, opportunities also for future edition of the school. So that would
Yes,
be
and I think
good.
it's always very good to follow and reach out and check your program. I saw you have a very nice flyer even about the high-tech rice, and so it's very, very interesting and very well made website. So I think there's quite much information out there already. Yes. Okay, so I mean, I suggest if there's no more question at this point, we keep it here for today's event. I want to thank very much Alessia and also Mr. Coco for your availability and for organizing and sharing this very great opportunity. Because I think there are not that many opportunities for European students to just come to China on the ground and even meet with industry and experience so many diverse new insights on China in such a short time frame. So I think it's a great opportunity. And we thank you very much for sharing everything with us today. And yes.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, European Guanxi. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Anna, thank you very much. I really want to thank you very much, you and the European Guanxi, for your cooperation. It was a pleasure. And thank you to the people, to the students who were with us. I hope to meet you all in Milan and then to come to China all together for this extraordinary experience to study the China's high-tech rise. Thank you very much.
Great.
Again.
Thank you so much, everyone. Also, just to say, we recorded the video, so we will share it on YouTube. And feel free to rewatch if you have some more questions.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
You too. Bye.
Goodbye.